Hi everyone, this is Dr. Asa here. Welcome back to the channel. Today's review is about flowers, secondary growth, and systematics. Since it's Halloween yesterday, so we start with actually 6 Halloween plants that actually they have some connection. Number one Halloween plant is corpse flower, which is Titan arum, which is the largest unbranched inflorescence in the world, or not tallest really flower in terms of flower. Number two is hawthorn, a prickly plant or most prickly plant. Number three is ghost plant, Monotropa. Number four is Strica species, and number five is bat flower, and number six, obviously, pumpkin, cucurbita pepper, most popular plant in the Halloween season. Okay, so let's get started with the review. So our first chapter is systematics, which is, as you know, you should always start um, with actually reviewing the vocabulary from the slides, and then read the chapter in your Raven Biology of Plants book, which is chapter 12. So some of the terms: taxonomy, specific epithet, taxon, phylogeny, analogous, homologous, cladogram, so that we cover, and among many others. So we know if Carl Linnaeus, which is actually the scientist of the year, which is considered father of taxonomy, and he wrote 2 books, and one about plant and animals, the other one specifically about plants, and also came up with the whole system of binomial system to classify organisms. So cladograms is something that we use most common actually to classify and to see phylogenic relationship between different plant species, or also the phylum or taxa. We know this hierarchy goes from domain, kingdom, phylum, and class is always after phylum, and family, genus, and species. Of course, there are subspecies we talked about in the class, um, but they are not formally part of this hierarchy. But there are more than one type of species, like varieties, or some other types of cultivars that man made uh, through the breeding efforts. So make sure that you cover this chapter, and you make sure that you actually read the chapter 12 from your lecture book. Chapter 19, obviously flowers. This is the biggest chapter in this group. Flowers, fruits, and seeds. We talked about this flower model. We talked about 4 major parts of the flower: SPSC, simple petal, stamen, carpel, and perfect flowers, imperfect flowers, and also the position of the flowers. So make sure you cover these. And then both flowers and fruits, since fruits come from flowers, they can be simple or compound. Simple, like it is called simple fruits, also com compound fruits. Um, there are different types of fruits we talked about. Make sure you cover that. And then final, the seed, which is basically final output, which is a big discovery of plants, which both gymnosperms and angiosperms have this. Make sure that you read chapter 19 in details, take notes, review, and go over this vocabulary. What is carpel? What is the receptacle? What is stamen? What is imperfect flower? Monoecious, dioecious, tube cells, life cycle. So there is soybean life cycle that you should review at the end of chapter 19. Okay, so, and also get notes from people that actually they were in the review class. Um, so Monday class before the test. Right. So, and the last chapter is secondary growth. Secondary growth, again, is a combination of 2 meristems. We know the secondary meristems of core cambium and um, vascular cambium. And then the most obvious thing that about secondary growth, number one is mostly perennial dicots have this, so it's a select growth. Is not every plant have that. Number two, um, so the secondary xylem is a product of this, and it's also the same time it's the wood and also annual rings, which is dendrochronology, which covers this whole area of tree ring science. There are also bark and other parts that you need to study here, and make sure that you cover these fine details of the secondary growth. Again, this is from the chapter 26 in your lecture book. If you have more questions, please also take a look at the notes we took during the lectures and also today's review, and email me and reach out to me, or come by the office hours. So best of luck with your studies, and see you in the next video.